Okay, today we're going to take a look at empirical formulas. Empirical formulas is simply the whole number ratio that exists between in a compound. It's the whole number ratio that exists in the molecular formula of a compound. So let's look at this problem we have here. Determine the empirical formula that corresponds with each of the following molecular formulas. So when we're doing these problems, the only thing that we need to be able to do is determine that if there's a whole number ratio that can evenly be divided into each one of the compounds, and if there is, then that would be our empirical formula. So if we look at A, we have B9H15. The question is, do we have a whole number ratio that can go into both the 9 and the 15? The answer is yes. We can divide it by 3. That means that the empirical formula would be B3H5. So this is the empirical formula of B9H15. It's just a whole number ratio, nothing more, nothing less. Very simple. It tells us the number of atoms in a particular, the simplest number of atoms in a molecular formula. Let's look at the next one. Here we have C10H18. Is it divisible by anything that can go into both of them? The answer is yes. That number will be 2. So the molecular formula or the empirical formula would be C5H9. This number here cannot be divisible to 5 and 9. There is no number that can be evenly divided into both of those. Let's look at the next one. We have S2F10. Is there a number that can be divisible into both 2 and 10? The answer is yes. We have 2. So the empirical formula would be SF5. Our next compound here is I2O5. Is there a number that's divisible evenly into 2 and 5? The answer is no. So the empirical formula for this is I2O5, but the empirical formula also is the molecular formula. And if we look at our last one, H4P4O12, is there a number that's divisible that will evenly go into 4, 4, and 12? And the answer is yes. Divide that by 4, divide that by 4, to divide that by 4, which would give us an empirical formula of HPO3. So this is the empirical formula. That's a wrap.